First off, I'll start. I want to, congratulate the Phillies on a tremendous season. First-class organization. Dombo, Rob, what they, their organization, their players, how they put together things. I mean, it was a war. It was a battle. And, instant classic game, and I just want to congratulate those guys on a great year.
Dave, can you just talk about Roki's growth this season and what he's meant to you guys now in his role as a closer?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, that's, you're talking about one of the great all-time appearances out of the pen, that I can remember. Certainly given, where he started this year, what he is as a starting pitcher, to go out there and, not only go 1 inning, 2 innings, and then 3 innings, and to do what he did gave us a huge boost. I can't speak enough to his growth and, his contribution to this club. And, we're starting to, see something really special in him, and that's why he was courted so hard in the offseason. But, what he's done now on the biggest of stages, he's just scratching the surface. But, couldn't be more proud of him.
Go left.
Dave, can you talk about Glasnow as far as last year not being in the playoffs and now having this opportunity, as you say, the big stage for Tyler?
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited for Tyler. A little bit looking on the outside, looking in last year and wanting to be a part of things. And, all offseason, this season, he couldn't wait for this moment, for the postseason and to contribute. And so he's prepared physically, mentally, and what he did, it was his time today. Today was his moment, and I was just very happy to see that he rose to that occasion and gave us a huge boost. And this is something that I know is going to propel him going forward.
Dylan.
With Sasaki, were you thinking multiple innings from the start?
I was thinking, at that point in time when we went to him, I was thinking 2. And then I just felt that the stuff, where the game was at, I felt he could handle us pushing him. And he didn't bat an eye. He was ready, and he didn't run from it. So, it's part of the Japanese culture, the toughness. He's been a star his entire life. And I just felt that, in that moment in the 9th inning, he was the best option right there to keep this game going.
I don't think I've seen you come out of the dugout to greet a pitcher coming off,
I just think that.
What were you feeling at that time?
Yeah, I was pure elation. I think that a lot of times, for me as a coach, I pull for the players, and just seeing, in April and May when Roki was sitting at the end of the dugout, watching his team play, being injured, not performing well, and sticking with him, building a relationship with him, and to now see him not only go 1 inning but 2 innings, to be our closer, and to go 3 innings, I just felt so happy for him, and that's kind of where that came from.
Just one last one from me. You mentioned those early months, and I would even go back to that introductory press conference. I didn't sense a ton of confidence almost from him, body language-wise. The confidence, I guess, that he's shown since he's come back. Were you surprised at all that was in there?
I was. Roki's a young player, and I think that he's very shy, reserved. But I do think that him coming back, he's opened up a lot more. I think he's showing more who he really is and showing some emotion. The toughness is certainly there, and he's embracing it. And I think that, his teammates couldn't be more excited for him, and that's growth and maturity.
You go in the back on the left.
Obviously, you take the win, but what are your feelings when it comes to Orion Kerkering right now, seeing that happen on the other side?
Oh, it's brutal. Obviously, they played great defense tonight. It's one of those things that it's a PFP, a pitcher's fielding practice, and he's done it 1,000 times. And, just right there, he was so focused, I'm sure, on just getting the hitter and, just sort of forgot, the outs in the situation. So, Kerkering is a stud, and, you definitely feel for a player, and I'm obviously happy that we won, but it's just, he's had a heck of a year and is a heck of a pitcher.
Do you think your players sharing that sympathy?
I don't know. I mean, I think that no one wants anyone to kind of, bear that. But he's a heck of a pitcher. And, for us, obviously, as Dodgers, we're happy with the result.
Anything else for Doc? Okay, we're going to go here in the front, Eric.
Excuse me, Dave. Glasnow's at 83 pitches through 6. Any thoughts to keeping him in there? What went into that decision?
He had cramps. He had cramps in the 5th and the 6th, and then that's he hasn't thrown that many pitches in a month. So I felt that with the cramps, and we pushed him as far as I wanted to push him right there.
And what about Vesia's inning in the 11th? What did you think there? It's kind of a high wire there. What were we thinking at that time?
I thought Alex made pitches when he needed to, and Bader put forth a great at bat. The walk to Harper, the pass ball. Obviously created some stress, and Bader put forth a 8-9 pitch at bat, and Alex made a great pitch to punch him right there. Great competition.
Dave, you mentioned this one was a battle all the way through the end. Just what did you see of the at bats collectively there in the 11th inning?
I thought Kike took probably one of his best at bats of the year. You get a guy that's very tough on right-hand hitters. To go down in the count and to earn a walk was huge. And, with Andy, just, obviously Andy's been scuffling. But to keep fighting and to put the ball in play, to create something, I give him a lot of credit. But, Tommy Edman, he does a great job of getting on base. And, it was just great inning. And, again, we just kept fighting, and those guys gave us everything they had.
Okay, we'll take one more in the back on the far left.
Dave, what can you say about Alex Call staying ready and quietly kind of getting you guys going on the bases?
Alex he's a winner. He's sort of on the periphery, but the guys love him. He's a baseball player. He's prepared. In whatever situation I ask of him, and he's ready. And so, just kind of learning him at the deadline. He's just he's a great teammate and very prepared. And him getting hit by pitch, the hit, he's always doing something to help you win baseball games.
Doc, would you take this last one here on the right?
Dave, we still don't know who you're going to face next, but Shohei will be the game 1 starter for you.
We're gonna talk about that, but that's probably the case. But with the off day after game 2, so we'll see. We don't know yet.
Hey, Tyler, just kind of talking to people around the team, it sounds like you've been kind of looking forward to this day for a long time. What was it like to kind of go out there and pitch as well as you did, and this type of environment, this type of game?
Yeah, it means everything. I think it's been a dream of mine for a long time, not only to play for the Dodgers, but in the postseason, in meaningful games, and it feels incredible.
Okay, we're going to go back to Mike in the back.
Tyler, were you aware of the shadows and how they were playing tonight? And then how does that factor into the way you attack hitters, I suppose?
I figured a little bit throughout just being an early game. I'm sure that had something to do with it. I don't know which innings, specifically, but I kind of didn't think about it too much, just attacked them like I normally would, and it worked out.
Next question. Here on the left, second row.
Dave said you had cramping. What was that? At what point did you feel it, and did it affect your pitching? How often did you think about it?
Probably at the end of the 3rd-ish inning, or beginning of the 4th, and then I just tried to put it out of my mind. It didn't affect anything. I think when I got around it sometimes, and I was late, it started to cramp a little bit more, but I didn't think about it too much, and it was fine.
And as a follow-up, most effective for you today as far as what was working, or did anything surprise you as far as something that felt better than maybe you thought in the bullpen?
I think just the timing of everything, tunneling was a little bit better. I've been struggling being a tad bit off, a tad bit late. And I think just working with Connor and Mark and getting it back on track this last week and just moving a bit quicker, everything, I just felt a lot more confident and aggressive in the zone.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Tyler, to Dylan. Sorry.
Tyler, up to this point, your playoff history has been kind of a mixed bag. How are you a different pitcher now that allowed you to go out and have the type of performance that you did today?
I think the biggest difference, I guess, is having that slider in the 2-seam. I think just kind of it was a matter of just locking it in today, and it worked out, and everything felt good.
Next question. Right, yeah, Eric, in front.
The first week or so of the postseason, you were sort of available in relief, and then you obviously pitched in game 1, and your shortened outing at the end of the regular season. Anything you did in particular to sort of keep stretched out to get ready for a start like this in the interim?
I kind of just did the reliever role, sort of during the week, it was kind of a bit more like higher energy, not as much throwing, I'd say. I kind of just fully went in as like a reliever, and then after knowing game 4, I just switched it up after I was pitched in game 1. The routine is pretty similar, I'd say, like throughout the week. I think it's just not as much volume, but yeah, I think just kind of just being a starter for so long was easy to just switch back.
We good? Anything else? Okay, thanks. Oh, take one more, Dylan.
What did you think of Roki's performance?
It's incredible. He's just, I think, for what he went through in the beginning of the year to come back, go to AAA, and then come out and throw some of the nastiest innings I think I've ever seen playing baseball. It just shows how strong he is, and just like a testament to how much of a competitor he is. And it didn't seem like anything fazed him. He was just throwing strikes, super aggressive, and it's extremely impressive, and we'll need him for the rest of the season.